I'm here with Walter Robb, co-CEO of Whole Foods.
Good morning, Adam.
Walter just spoke for the whole audience this morning on Friday. It was a great presentation, talked about their products, their engagement with customers, their engagement with employees and the community, the whole suite of activities that Whole Foods is doing. I think it was really inspiring for everybody. Walter, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing with employees?
I mean, the thing we talked about this morning was the immersions. That comes to mind right now, where we're setting up various times through the year these opportunities. We call them immersions for team members to go with their spouses or significant others to work on their health. And these are a set of doctor partners that we have, and they have different sort of themes to them in different parts of the country. But people apply through United Health, and they get there and they get set up and they get tested. So they go in knowing where their metrics are, and they go through this program. It's just sort of 5 to 7 days depending on the program. And we're just seeing these extraordinary results. Their blood pressure is dropping, they're getting off their meds, their metrics are changing. They've got kind of a new way of thinking about food as medicine and learning how to cook again. And it's creating this tremendous goodwill. Not only is it changing their life in terms of their health, but I think they're feeling for the company and they're feeling for all of us in the company together is a very positive.
That's great.
Yeah. And then the basic idea is that, look, anytime you invest in your team members, anytime you invest in the employees, good things happen. And I don't know how you talk about sustainability or a sustainable company unless you talk about having caring for your team members.
Great, great. You know, one other thing that really struck me during the presentation, and I know is an issue that a number of our retailers are facing, is how to engage, educate, and message to the customers. And I think that's one thing that you're doing really well. You showed us a few examples through the presentation. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I think again the idea is that you got to be in action, right? And ultimately, the customers in many ways are driving a lot of these changes. The customers are asking for information and transparency about products. They're asking questions about how things are raised or produced, and they are backing that up with their purchases. They're putting their values to work with their purchasing dollars. So in many cases, we are responding to or thinking about how to create that transparency in the supply chain. And to do that, you have to bring the work. You have to do the work with your suppliers. You have to create the standards, but then you also have to bring it forward and let people know exactly what it is they're buying. So that's been sort of the way we've been thinking about it. We've done that in a number of the categories, as we talked about this morning in the presentation. And you know, it's we don't always get it right, and sometimes we're clumsy, and sometimes we're tripping over each. You know, the message. You know, there's a lot of messages in the store. What do people actually see? What don't they see? But you know, you just keep going at it. And ultimately, I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a store that's transparent end to end, side to side. It's probably going to be downloadable digitally. You know, when people come in and check in with their smartphone, you'll be able to get 100% transparency of the products throughout the store. And the experience will continue to evolve in the store where the customer, it's a smart store ultimately, where people can get all the information they require because that's what they want. So we talked a little bit about that this morning.
Great. Well, I appreciate your comments.
Sure.
Maybe one other question. You're, of course, a member of RILA.
I am.
And I'm interested to hear, you know, what you think about the organization and what you're getting out of being involved.
Yeah. Well, heard about RILA through Sally Jewell and Matt Hyde at REI, and they've been friends, Matt particularly, for a while, and we're obviously soul spirit companies, REI and Whole Foods, but they said this is a really worthwhile group, and so we came down and joined, and I'm very impressed with the work that you are doing on our behalf as retailers. I mean, retailers are a different subset, different category of business, and we do need there is a point of view about retail, and I think that the various issues we have, whether it's the tax or whether it's the labor issues or the different things, and I think you guys are doing an excellent job, very professional organization representing us well in Washington. We appreciate that, having a way for those issues to get thought out and represented. And then I think also this opportunity to get together on these various levels. Today you have the sustainability group, but you have different groups that get together to have a chance to network and share best practices. I can't think this is a wonderful thing for people and for retail in general to continue to evolve and improve and change. So a lot